Tonight's episode is brought to you by the Be Real Podcast Network. For more episodes like this, go to BREELnetwork.com. Enjoy the show.
We'd go Black Friday shopping at midnight, and we'd be out all night, and it was cool, whatever. I didn't mind it. But then this last year, she went out at like 5:30. Like, not in the morning, in the evening of Thanksgiving.
And stayed out all night?
Yeah, because that's when the sales started. Well, my family does Thanksgiving dinner like in the evening, and it's really nice. So I didn't want to leave some of my cousins I never get to see. They live all over. They come back for Thanksgiving. So I didn't want to leave. So I didn't go last year because she went out at like 6 o'clock with her sister, and she came home at like 3:30 in the morning with like a car packed full of shit.
That's like insane.
It's insane. It's insanity. Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
That's insane in the membrane.
I would not fucking do that for a minute. But
I was out for Black Friday one time in my entire life. It was when I was a senior in high school, and my mother was getting me a Christmas gift, or basically a laptop for school. And it was my first actual computer I was going to have on my own. So I went out with her early in the morning to get that, and we went to Staples. And it wasn't like Walmart. Luckily, it wasn't wild and crazy. There was a huge line, but luckily, like I feel like the crazy people go to Walmart, and if you want to go to you want to be organized, go somewhere else. Like there were no stampedes. Like everybody was in an orderly fashion line, one after the other. It was like a military thing or something like that. Just walking in, I was like, oh, this is nice. This is pleasant.
I went with my brother-in-law the one time, and it's like one of the first years I've ever done this. He's like, hey, come with me. I want to get this really nice big honking TV. I'm like, okay. So we're waiting in this line, and we're at Walmart. Huge fucking long line. We're waiting in what seems like hours. Like it feels like I'm at a ride at Disney World. Like that's how long I'm waiting in this line. Then we finally get up there, and a homeboy gives us a ticket. So we had to wait in line just to get a ticket. What you used this other ticket for was to get in a second line, Adam, to get the actual TV. Like, they weren't going to have a million fucking people waiting in a line when there was only 600 TVs. So you had to wait in a line to get a ticket, and they had exactly the number of tickets of how many TVs they had. Then the second line was to actually get it, but you had to have a ticket to wait in the other line. So we waited for fucking ever, and I'm thinking, okay, we're going to get this TV now, and they give us a fucking orange ticket. Then we had to go wait in another line. It's just as fucking long for another 3 hours. It was horrible. So when we get to the second line, I'm like, dude, I said, I can't fucking stand here anymore. He's like, I wasn't even getting one. It was just him. So he's just like, go ahead. You're like, I understand. I was like, I'll be back. So I just like walked around checking out the chaos of Black Friday. And there were desktop, not laptop, desktop computers like in a good sized box. They were on a pallet stacked with like shrink wrap. And there's just like people like surrounding it, like sharks with chum in the water. And there's one like Walmart employee like standing on the edge of the pallet, like a little bit higher than everybody else. And he's got like a stopwatch and like an air horn, dude. And he's like waiting for this certain time. And he like blows the horn for this item. But so I'm like, I'm going to go check this the fuck out. So I like weasel my way in. I'm actually, I got a good amount of people in front of me, a good amount of people behind me. I'm right in the shit, okay?
It's like a mosh pit. You're
I'm
ready
right
to go.
in the shit. And I'm like, all right, this is happening. This is going to happen. I'm going to try to fucking get one. This is obviously something A+. It's probably a good fucking deal if this many people want it. I'm going to try to get one. So before the guy some asshole starts ripping the fucking shrink wrap. I was getting close at the time. And the guy's like yelling at him. Like, apparently the guy was like, I just want to take the shrink wrap off. I'm not going to grab the computer till you blow the air horn. But the guy's like, no. You can't even unwrap it until... Well, he starts fucking doing this. These other people see him doing it, so they start ripping it off, and then it was done. It was done. People just go in there, and the guy just is fucking mad at this point. He's like, fucking forget it. He like walks away. People are going in on it. It was like a mosh pit. It was like seeing an old friend at the mosh pit. But then I got one. Okay. I got in there. I got one of these fuckers, and I'm like, walking away with it. I got under my arm like a football. I'm stiff arming people like I'm winning the Heisman Trophy. And I get out of there. I go back to my brother and I'm like, check this the fuck. He's still waiting in line. I had hardly moved from the spot I left him. I'm like, check this the fuck out. I got one of these. He's like, I was like, people were like getting bloody over it. It was so fucking cool. He's like, oh, that's awesome. Well, then his wife and my wife come over and checks. I'm like, look what I got. Chris like, you're not getting that. I'm like, it's probably a really good deal. She's like, I don't care. We don't fucking need that desktop computer. I'm like, oh. So I was like, there was like an
This is my trophy.
I'm like, I just felt really good about getting it. So I just like set it down on the cabinet. Somebody picked that shit up. I got a really good deal. There was like none left on the pallet.
Oh, hell no. Hell
Yeah,
no.
there was none left.
Have you ever worked a job that had to deal with like Black Friday in that way? Like a convenience store job where it's like you worked at like a Walmart or another type of sales store or something like that that has to deal with that kind of shit?
Not on Black Friday.
No?
You did.
Yeah, I did. I worked for a year at GameStop.
Yes.
And at the time I was working at GameStop and Eaton Park as a dishwasher. So I had a long ass day ahead of me because I had to go into GameStop at 11 o'clock at night. To go in it was like 11 at night. People are standing outside, lined up, ready for the big fucking deals. And I go inside, I'm like, here we go. Literally every single person that could be scheduled is scheduled. And we're all just in there, just waiting around. I'm sitting there I'm running one of the registers. And they were waiting for the big deals. I think, I want to say... No, I don't think Laura was there that I don't think she might have swung by like later in the day or something like that maybe. I don't know. I don't remember seeing her, but I thought I remembered seeing her. But yeah, I was there till like 6 a.m. I worked from midnight till 6 a.m, and the only reason why I got off that early was so that I could go to work my other job at Eaton Park, and I had to work from like Eaton Park from like 6 to like 3 o'clock. So I literally worked like 13, 14 hours, something like that day. It sucked. Yeah. Because they had to make sure they had a lot of people at the restaurant too, because people go to Black Friday, they go get their shopping done, then they decide to go out to eat.
I remember that.
Fucking America.
You hooked me up.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
So I was out Black Friday shopping. I don't know if it was it might have been that same year.
It had to have been.
It might have been that same year that I was just telling the story from. I was with Kristen, my wife, Mandy, her sister, and her husband Josh, and they have some young children. A 10-year-old who wanted the Xbox, I don't know, whatever it was, 360 or One, whatever one came out then.
At the time,
PlayStation.
I think maybe? It was a newer 360. I don't think the Xbox One came out at the time. I think it was like a newer next generation.
It was the Xbox.
I think it was a next generation Xbox 360 is what it was.
He was getting a gaming console. I'm pretty sure it was Xbox. Might have been PlayStation, but whatever. They were getting him the game console.
Yeah.
And they come with like those special packages. You know what I'm talking about? Like a bundle pack.
Oh, I know. I sold them.
What is that? Explain it.
It's basically like it's normally when you buy a system, you just buy the system. You have to buy the game separately.
So like any other time of the year, you go to GameStop or Walmart, you buy an Xbox. It just comes with the game. Like
you can. They don't just sell the bundle caps then. They sell them throughout the year. But they cost a little bit more because you're buying like 1 or 2 games with the bundle.
Okay.
So that's basically what it is. So it's like if the PlayStation costs like $300, if you buy the bundle, it's like an extra $60 if there's a game in there, maybe an extra $100 if there's 2 games in there. Usually it's a pretty good deal to do it that way.
But if you do it on Black Friday, it's even less.
Yeah, because they always have their big sales on Black Friday. They'll sell a lot of times, sometimes they'll sell their bundles for like the regular price. So that bundle might be like $300 just for that bundle.
So this is around the time earlier in the night. There's 2. At the time, there was 2 GameStops in our town. Right now, there's only 1. But at the time, there was 2 GameStops, and Mandy had gone to both Walmart and the other GameStop looking for this. What's called a bundle.
Yeah.
She was looking for an Xbox bundle for him, Both of them were completely sold out. So she's devastated. She's not going to get it. Well, I said, well, hey, I got a guy who works at the other GameStop. Let me just, before we go over there and try to fight the crowd, let me just give him a call. So I called you, and whatever reason I caught you at a good time, you were able to answer. I don't know if you're on break or whatever. And you were, I remember you said, you were like, we have 2 left. So I'm like, can you like push one underneath or something? You were like, we're not supposed to, but I fucking will.
Yeah.
So you like did it for us. So like we came there, nobody, like none out, and you had one put away for us. And my sister was like, "Oh my god!" I said, "Thank you so much. I could just kiss his face." So yeah, so that was you. You saved the day. You saved a little kid's Christmas. So not all heroes wear capes, Adam.
Not all heroes wear capes. Beer of the show.
Beer of the show. Okay, so funny story about this.
I love a good story.
Okay, so I had to go to a networking event for work.
Aren't
2
you,
nights
aren't you
ago.
special?
No, I didn't fucking want to go. But the boss was, he claims he was out of town. But I think it was just a bunch of bullshit. He didn't want to go. So he had me go for instead. It was stupid. I'm like, oh my God, I'm not going to like this. So what it was is a networking event. They had just like 25 tables set up of all kinds of local businesses. You go in, you get, there's free food and drink, which was kind of cool. But they give you a bunch of tickets. They give you like 10 or 15 tickets. And you got to go to each table. And each table had like a giveaway, a basket with some wine in it or something related to their business. And the trick was you had to go to the table and talk to the representative. And they had to give you the pitch about their business. And then once you did that, you could put one of your tickets into their bag. And they do a drawing to win whatever their prize is.
Let me guess, you were the jackass there. Whenever somebody came up, you'd look at the other person, and be like, "No ticket." You were that guy, right?
Well, I didn't.
You were so bored that you were just doing that all day.
I didn't have a table.
Oh.
Our business found out about this event late, so we didn't have a table. There was other businesses like me that were just walking around. He wanted me to like tell people about our business at the same time learn about other businesses. So I had these tickets, and I'm walking around, and I get to the first 3 tables, and the one was a plumber. Really nice guy or whatever, but I fucking care about plumbing. Next one was like this.
You say that now, but then whenever
next
your
one was
toilet
like
backs
this
up,
like fitness drink type company, and I'm like, oh my God. Like their giveaway was like powders to make their shakes. And I'm like, I don't fucking care about this. Isn't in my wheelhouse. The third one was a concealed carry permit class.
oh great.
For guns and stuff, which again, that's fine, but I'm not into that. Well, it actually turned out to not be a bad thing because there was like half a dozen people there that I knew, some people I really liked. They had free booze, free food, so I start chatting up some of my friends, and before I know it, an hour's passed, and the guy starts like taking all the bags. And I had like 8 tickets left. And I'm like, holy shit, I haven't been to any of these tables. So the very next one was a law office of somebody. And their giveaway prize was a case of beer. And I think to myself, I walked right up to the lady. I'm like, hey, how you doing? She's like, hey, we're law office or whatever. I said, yep, and here's all my tickets in for your beer because I don't have time to go to anybody else. So I put 8 tickets in the one thing. They did the drawing. Motherfucker won.
Well, you had the advantage, sir.
So I won a case of beer.
And this is this beer, then.
Yes. It is Trogs, which we've had Trogs on the show before. It is spelled Troegs. It is from Hershey, Pennsylvania, the chocolate capital of the world, Adam. You ever been to Hershey,
never been.
PA?
Never
I've
been.
been there twice. It's a great town. I recommend it. There's an amusement park there. No, you're not an amusement park guy, but it's just a really cool town. If you ever get a chance to go to Hershey, PA, go. Also, the Trogs Brewery is there. The beer of the show is the Sunshine Pils. I'm guessing it's a Pilsner. The Sunshine Pilsner. Yes.
First guess.
It says Pilsner right here. So, why don't you go first this time? Tell me what you think of our beer of the show.
It's okay. It's like not really. It doesn't have that wow factor for me. It's a nice casual beer. It's not too heavy of a beer, so it doesn't like sit at the bottom of my stomach. I can't tell how light the beer is, but it doesn't taste like it's too dark. It actually, no, it looks like it's a fairly light colored beer. So
We're drinking it from the brown bottles.
Yeah.
We normally pour it into a clear pint glass, but I didn't bring any today, so we're drinking from the beer.
it's not terribly hoppy. It's a little hot, but it's not too hoppy. But it's got no wow factor. It's an average beer. I would give it average. It's right middle of the road. You know, it's a nice casual beer, but don't go running out to your stores and just getting this case right now because it can wait.
So you're still boycotting the giving the numbers, right?
Yeah, I'm still boycotting giving
Okay, well, I'll go next.
Who am I to judge?
I actually really like Trogs, but I agree with you. This beer is very vanilla, and I don't mean it has a vanilla taste. I just mean it's very pedestrian. It's very plain Jane. And you get that from Pilsners. A lot of times, like, Miller Lite's a Pilsner, and some of those other, like, really common watery beers are Pilsners. So you can drink a lot of them. If you're the kind of person who likes to throw down some brewskis, then go right the fuck ahead with the Pilsner.
If you're a man that uses the term brewskis, then it's the beer for you, I guess.
I guess. So I would probably rate this beer a 2, but because of my major victory, because I won this in a game of chance, I'm going to go ahead and give it some bonus points for that. I'm going to rate it a 3. But that is the Trogs Sunshine Pils, the beer of the show. So Adam,
Scotty.
there's a movie coming out. Well, it's coming out in 2019, so they're working on it right now. They're in pre-production.
Around the time when the next Game of Thrones is supposed to be coming out.
Well, okay. So, you know my love for Disney.
Yes, you are a man that loves to suck the Disney taint every now and then.
Once in a while. But they've done something the last few years that some people are very critical of. I don't. I love it. But they've taken some of their classic animated movies and they're turning them into live action films.
They have.
They've done it with Sleeping Beauty, Maleficent. They've done it with Cinderella, The Jungle Book, Beauty and the Beast. We both really enjoyed Beauty and the Beast, but
They did it with Cinderella?
Cinderella, yeah. They redid Cinderella
When?
in live action. 2014? 2015? One of the earlier ones. I think Maleficent, which I really liked Maleficent, that was the first one. I did not like Cinderella. And Jungle Book was just okay.
Jungle Book was great. I don't know what you're talking about.
I love
That
the
was
original
great.
so much.
That little boy was a great actor. Fantastic.
He did do a nice job, considering he was the only one in it.
Yeah.
He
the only human
acting in front of a
character.
green screen. So, but anyway, the next film they're making, live action, is one of your favorites as a child growing up.
And that it is.
The Lion King, Adam.
The Lion King.
Are you excited?
Nah, say when, yeah.
Are you excited for the live action Lion King coming out in 2019?
I wouldn't say I'm excited. I'd say I'm looking forward to it. It looks like it'll be a fun movie. I got a problem with it being called a live action movie because there's not going to be any live action in it because there's no people. So it's all going to be CGI. So there's no real live action involved.
I guess with Jungle Book, you had Mowgli.
Yeah,
He was
at
the
least.
sole live. Other than that, everything else. Avatar was kind of a 50-50, you know?
Yeah.
The scenes with the Na'vi, that was all CGI.
Yeah, but they were still the actors had those little cameras on their face, so they were still technically acting. But yeah, for the most part, that was all CGI. I don't think they're going to get James Earl Jones on all hands and knees, acting like Mufasa. No, he's probably just going to do the voice, and they're going to animate it. So
that leads me right into my next point. They've released the cast list, and some things have happened. Do you have it pulled up, Adam?
I do, right here.
Would you like to read the cast list?
It's almost like we were prepared for this show. The cast list goes.
And read it from start to finish, okay?
I'm going to read it from start to finish. Top bill, according to IMDb, top bill for the Lion King live action 2019, Seth Rogen as Pumbaa.
So you throw the soul, well, not the soul, but one of the only white guys.
Like one of 3 white people in this movie.
You're going to put him first. Pumbaa. Don't get me wrong, Pumbaa's a great character, but certainly not a lead character.
Never mind your racist allegations, Scott. He's just not the main character. He's not Simba. Simba should be top bill.
It is called The Lion King. The Lion King.
If not that, then James Earl Jones at least deserves the top, bro.
Right,
but
I have an issue with listing Pumbaa, Seth Rogen first, but carry on, Adam. Carry on.
next we've got Simba. Do you know who's playing Simba, Scotty? I know you know.
I do, but tell the people.
Donald Glover.
Love Donald Glover.
Great man.
Love him. Disney apparently loves him because he's cast as young Lando Calrissian in the new Han Solo film, and now he's playing Simba, which is great. I love him in Community. He does that show at
Here's what I'm curious about. Is he going to do both young and older Simba, or is he just going to do one of those two voices?
You mean like in the cartoon how Jonathan Taylor Thomas played young Simba and then Matthew Broderick played adolescent Simba, I guess?
That's what I want to know. Is he going to do voice
Simba?
both? Like
He must be. He must be. I don't know.
I guess. Next we've got the voice of Timon, voiced by Billy Eichner.
Okay.
Not a lot to say there, apparently.
Billy Eichner. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Next, number 4. Number 4 on the list. An insult, if I may say so. This man might need to come at Disney because this is an insult, or at least come at IMDb because they are the ones that ordered this list. James Earl Jones voicing Mufasa again.
Because yes, as we know, he was the original voice of Mufasa in the Lion King animated classic.
Yes,
they're
fantastic
bringing him back.
voice.
They're bringing him back. He's another Disney legend as the voice of Darth Vader.
You are my son.
He's great.
And the one true king. I know. So, remember who you are.
So do you like that casting? Do you like James Earl Jones as Mufasa?
First of all, I love James Earl Jones to begin with. Okay, I love his voice to begin with. Funny dude. Absolutely. If he's alive, why not bring him back? Like he did it great the first time. You don't change the recipe if it tastes great. Like just let's do it again.
I'm gonna call quick timeout. 2 things I found very interesting. You know the movie Coming to America with Eddie Murphy?
Coming to America.
Not the Neil Diamond song.
No? Okay.
The 80s film where he is from, I can't remember the name of the country he lived in, Africa, and he comes to Queens.
Why don't you just pull Donald Trump and just make up an African country name?
You've never seen Coming to America?
Yes, I've seen Coming to America.
Well, don't be a dick about it. Say yes or fucking no. So you know how James Earl Jones...
We've got an hour to kill, Scott. I have to vamp somehow.
James Earl Jones... James Earl Jones played his father, the king.
Yes.
Okay. The Queen, who's James Earl Jones' wife in that, who played the Queen, was the voice of Sarabi, who was Simba's mother in the animated.
Sarabi.
Her name is Sarabi, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So Mufasa and Sarabi were... I wish I knew her name. It escapes me. But James Earl Jones and the female actress were king and queen in both The Lion King and Coming to America. There's a fun fact for you.
I'm going to look her name up real quick.
She deserves respect.
Yes.
And while we're talking about Coming to America, I saw a great fan-made trailer that was half Black Panther, half Coming to America. It was like Eddie Murphy as the Black Panther. It was hilarious. I'll share it to our Facebook page. If you go to Facebook and you search for Your Distraction, like us on there. You'll check out these videos.
The person that voiced Sarabi in the original one, her name, and I may be butchering the pronunciation, Madge Sinclair. Madge. So,
well, mad respect.
The person who is voicing her in the new one, her name is Alfre Woodard.
Okay. So go ahead. Continue.
Once again, pronunciation be damned.
Continue reading the cast list.
All right, we've got the next one, Scar. Very important voice. Okay. Very important to get this right. The name is Chiwetel Ejiofor. I understand I butchered the shit out of it. I understand that. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Go to the next one.
Next one we have... Actually, hang on a second. Yeah, the guy that does voice Scar. You remember the movie Doctor Strange? He was the side, kind of like the sidekick side character that was teaching Doctor Strange all his stuff. The only black guy in Doctor Strange. Remember him?
Oh, the guy who gave him the Wi-Fi password.
Yeah.
That was great. That was a fun scene.
Okay. That's the guy that does the voice for Scar.
Okay.
Moving on, Kamari, Keegan-Michael Key. Love Keegan-Michael
Love
Key.
him. Love him.
Who was Kamari?
I don't know. Maybe that's a new character in this. I don't recall that character. But moving on, because we're almost to.
Anyway, next one we've got Voice of Sarabi, like I said, Alfred Woodward. Now we come to the other person you're excited about. The voice of Nala.
Mm-hmm.
Beyonce herself.
Queen Bee.
Beyonce herself.
Yes. And this is one I'd like to go in depth with. I want to talk about
Okay.
Beyonce being cast as Nala, but let's finish this list before I rant.
All right, fair enough.
Okay.
We've got Zazu. We need an Englishman, obviously. I think they picked a good one in this one. John Oliver.
Love John Oliver. Love him. So that's a good choice.
All right, next we have Azizi.
Who's Azizi?
I'm assuming like Azizi and Kamari. I'm assuming those are like the hyenas. I'm assuming those got to be like the hyenas. Anyway, Azizi is going to be Eric Andre.
Okay, I know him, comedian.
Yeah. Next we have Rafiki, John Connie.
And unfortunately, the actor who played Rafiki in the original, the '94 animated, just recently passed away in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So I did see that. So, okay.
Next we have Shenzi, played by Florence Kasumbi,
Okay.
which I'm assuming once again is the third hyena. And this next two entries answer my earlier question. We have young Simba and young Nala.
Okay.
Young Simba is being played by J.D. McCrary, and young Nala is Shahadi Wright Joseph.
Okay, so we do have young Simba
Yes.
and young Nala. Okay, that answered our question. We obviously didn't do our homework before this. But I want to revisit the casting of Beyonce as Nala, the love interest of Simba.
Okay.
The eventual queen of the Pride Lands. How do you feel about that choice, Adam? Be
Well,
honest.
I've always felt weird about the whole love interest in The Lion King in general in the first place, because the thing you got to remember is Nala and Simba are brother and sister. That's the thing.
Are they?
Well, there's only one lion.
Is
Mufasa.
that how prides work?
There's only one lion as far as I remember. I didn't see any other lions there. Did you? I mean,
Yes, I
there
did.
besides Scar.
No male lions besides Scar.
Yes.
The female lions are like Mufasa's harem, I guess. Is that what you'd say?
I guess I would say that.
But you do see that Nala and Simba have different moms.
Yes, they have different moms. So like, okay,
They're
they're half siblings. So does that make it right though, Scott?
In the animal kingdom, Adam, that's every day.
Yeah, but we're anthropomorphizing these animals. So I mean, no.
Well, you know what Billy Bob Thornton said in The Bad News Bears when he was talking about a tie? I know they say a tie is like kissing your sister, but imagine that your sister's really, really hot.
National treasure, Billy Bob Thornton is.
Okay. So, do you like the casting
I don't
of Beyonce?
care.
You don't care?
Beyonce is a fantastic musical artist. She's obviously an amazing singer with a voice of an angel, but I more cared about the casting of Pumbaa and Simba, Timon, and Mufasa and Rafiki, because to me those are the big voices we're gonna hear throughout the entire movie. We're gonna hear Timon and Pumbaa throughout the entire movie. We're gonna hear Simba throughout the entire movie. We're gonna hear Scar throughout the entire movie. Not really gonna hear Nala. She wasn't really in the movie that much. And to be perfectly honest with you, in the cartoon, the majority of what you see with Nala is when she was young. So I didn't really think that Nala would have been. Obviously all voice casting is an incredibly important decision. I didn't really think Nala was like top bill like to be important, but as far as picks go, I don't think you can go wrong with Beyonce. Obviously, she can sing her ass off. We all know that. So any song they give her, and we know it's given the quote live action Lion King they're going to be doing, they're going to be adding at least 5 or 6 new songs that we never heard before. So,
would you consider yourself a fan of Beyonce?
I enjoy her. I don't listen to her in my daily routine, I guess you would say. I don't think I've ever like actively sought out a Beyonce song to listen to. If it's on, I'll be like, "Oh, that's a good song." And if I'm in the mood for it, I might change it. Or
I mean, she's all over the radio. So if you're ever listening to radio,
I don't listen. The thing is, I don't.
If you
listen
walk
to
into
radio.
a bank and they're playing the radio,
Yeah.
you hear a Beyonce song.
I will say I absolutely recognize she's a fantastic music artist. I just don't actively seek her music out for the most part.
Okay, well, I'll give you my opinion on it. I am a fan of Beyonce. I love her. I think she is an incredible talent. She has the voice of an angel. Not only that, she's beautiful.
Oh yeah,
And she is getting up there in age, and she is still gorgeous.
she just had a kid, and she
just had twins. She's had 3 kids now. I love her to death. I think she is so talented, and I love the casting of this. I think it is great. I love this pick. So you and I are both, you're okay with it, and I love it. Adam, the internet disagrees with us.
really.
The internet hates this pick.
I don't understand how the internet does, because
The internet
people.
hates this pick.
I think part of the reason why, and this might be like really dumb of me, and I absolutely recognize it, part of the reason why I don't jump on the Beyonce train so much is because everybody else like wants to bow down and worship her so much.
Like me, Queen Bee.
Yeah,
Absolutely, yeah.
That's fine. But because of that, it's like the Kanye West train. Like Kanye West sees himself as like the next thing since Jesus Christ, and other people recognize him as like he is one of the greatest musical artists of our time, of our generation.
I do love
and
Kanye.
I think that attitude steers me away from that a little bit. So like I think the attitude of like people worshiping Beyonce kind of steers me a little bit away from it, because I'm like, everybody's got flaws. Let's be honest. Like, there's no reason to worship people like that. It's kind of like you with Disney. Like, I always come at you with Disney because you are easily like, if the admission to Disney was taking a load from Mickey Mouse, no matter who was in the costume, if they changed that to be their admission, you would easily like succumb to that just to go into the Disney park. And obviously that's over exaggeration.
If the price keeps going up, Adam, I might consider it. Okay.
That's obvious over exaggeration, though. But what I'm saying is, because of that, I always have to be the opposite end of you to like be like, let's be honest, like Disney's great, but like, you know, Walt Disney was kind of racist. So I don't know about all that, but I'm gonna get back to the whole Beyonce thing and the internet. I was reading one of the worst places in the entire universe to go is the comment section of Facebook. Stay out of it. Just steer clear. Any good advice to anybody out there? Don't go near a comment section unless you're trying to troll with some dank memes. Then it's okay. But if you're just going to actually see what other people have to say, these are the assholes who elected a pussy-grabbing reality star president of the United States. These are the same people who did this. You can't say that every single time. You can't make that comparison every single time, Scott.
I just fucking did.
But you can't do it, sir.
Can't.
You can't
I most
do it.
certainly can't.
Well, here's the problem with making that comparison every single time. It loses all its meaning, and now it's like, oh, Scott's saying it again.
No, it's not
it
losing
loses
its meaning.
all its meaning.
It's reinforcing it. It's showing you on a daily basis, you're seeing the visceral, the hatred, and the absolutely asinine comments coming from the populace. And it
Scott,
makes me lose faith in humanity.
I take an intro to public speaking class, and they will tell you it's important to reinforce your point without repeating the same thing over and over and over again.
I will say that, you know me, I'm a bright-eyed, bushy-tailed optimist, and I wake up in the morning, you know, let's give a good stretch, look at the sunshine, think to myself, what a beautiful day. I'm gonna grab.
I don't believe anybody wakes up like that.
I'm gonna grab today by the balls.
Oh,
I'm gonna grab today by the nutsack, and I'm gonna attack it. I'm thinking to myself, you know, people are inherently good. I think the majority of people out there are good fucking people. Then I go to Facebook and I read the comments section. And then I change my tune. I say, the only way we can rid the world of this is with fire. Kill it with fire.
Fire and brimstone.
We need to destroy this and start over because there's still hope for humanity.
So what does the Facebook comment saying about it?
Well, so I read one.
Because I am actually shocked because, like I said, everybody worships Beyonce. So I'm actually shocked that people are saying, and even I'm saying, like it's a good pick. I don't mind the pick. It seems like it's a good pick. What are these people saying?
One of the comments was, people were saying, I love The Lion King. The Lion King is my favorite Disney movie of all time. And I will not be going to see this movie because you cast Beyonce in it. And I'm like, oh boy, look out, Disney. You're not getting this chick $750. This really matters to you. I'm like, see you later, bitch. Disney really shed some tears on that one.
This person or anybody else go into any details for why? Or are they just like...
No, they didn't, but I responded because I had to. I gave a link to the Bone Thugs and Harmony songs. I'll see you at the crossroads. So we won't see her anymore. Her name was Megan. She's not gonna do it. We'll see Megan at the crossroads. We won't see her at the theater in 2019 because she's boycotting. Other people, John had said that after her, I'm using air quotes, anti-police Super Bowl halftime show, he doesn't understand why Disney would cast somebody who's so clearly anti-law enforcement. Adam, we talked about this on the show before. She's not. That's completely... People took that. That was fake news. They say that she dressed up like a Black Panther.
She did kind of look like the Black Panther. They did kind of look a little bit like the Black Panthers.
But okay, so. Maybe if you're ignorant and you think that's fine. But what she was really doing was paying tribute to Michael Jackson when he played the Super Bowl halftime show a decade before. He had the same outfit on, the black with the almost looked like a Klingon Worf thing across him. It was kind of gold. And she did the same thing. Now, she had like those hot pants on because her legs, Beyonce's legs for days. She's got to have her legs.
She does.
She's got to have her legs.
Oh, yeah,
up.
she does.
So it was not supposed to be some anti-police Black Panther
No, I don't believe
thing.
it is any type of anti-police.
It was not. It was showing tribute to Michael Jackson because it's what he wore.
Well, that's probably just as wrong to show tribute to Michael Jackson too.
What's wrong with MJ?
Because of his latter years of the kiddly fiddling and things like that.
Alleged kiddly fiddling.
Well, then
he was
Kevin
Spacey
Spacey allegedly did all that stuff.
Oh, we're gonna get into that later too.
Yeah, and then what's his name? Film producer
Harvey Weinstein
allegedly did all this stuff. So we can't blame them for that. Then if we're gonna defend Michael Jackson.
I'm just saying, Michael
just
Jackson.
Saying too.
Michael Jackson isn't alive to defend himself,
but he was at the time when these allegations.
And he was never convicted of a crime. Harvey Weinstein's going to jail, dude, and I wouldn't be surprised if.
So if Harvey Weinstein dies before then, we can no longer blame him for anything because he died. He was never convicted.
But that's not what happened with Michael Jackson. He wasn't found guilty. And he died much later. But if he would have still been in trial and just died, then
but come on,
that's different.
We all know though.
Do you know? Were you there?
Know, though.
Were you fondled?
We all
know. Do you
hashtag
me too?
Nobody builds a carnival in their backyard and names their kid Blanket.
He obviously does.
If they weren't come on.
I'm not buying it. Innocent until proven guilty, Adam. Innocent until proven guilty. That is the American legal system. He was never proven guilty.
Has Bill Cosby been proven guilty yet?
I think he admitted. I think he admitted to some of it.
Did he?
I think so. I think he's in big trouble too. But
I didn't hear about that. Mm-hmm. I thought he was still denying it. So
I think he's denied some of them, but I don't know. Hey, time's gonna tell him that too. So fuck you. But I don't understand the hatred for Beyonce. I don't get it. Why do people suck? Why does the internet suck, Adam?
Well, let's be honest. Most of those are probably trolls. Most of those are probably people like you that are just going on there to create a stink for no reason.
One more comment I saw this from a bunch of people. I don't understand why they just don't keep the same cast. And this takes me back to James Earl Jones. People saying Scar should always be Jeremy Irons. Jeremy Irons was an incredible Scar. His voice, great. I don't think James Earl Jones should have been cast as Mufasa.
Really?
I don't. And here's why. Love James Earl Jones, love what he did, but it's time to turn the page, Adam. The 1994 animated classic The Lion King is amazing on its own. If we're doing something new, it's time to turn the page.
Well, based on that logic, then, when Rogue One came out, he shouldn't have been the voice of Darth Vader.
But you're not redoing anything. It's a continuation. That's apples to
saying,
kangaroos.
I'm just saying, like,
No, you're
it's time
saying
to turn the page on a new story, like.
It's not a new story, Adam. It's in the same timeline.
But
this is a completely
who
reboot.
else could do the voice of Mufasa, though? Who else could?
If Disney's gonna pay me, I will be Mufasa.
I will reiterate that. Who
Simba!
else?
I could do it.
Who else could do the voice of Mufasa and not sound like there's a dick in their mouth, and not sound like they suck?
Not me, but
That's what I'm saying. You have a classic voice, and it's not like he's the main character. If he was the main character, I might agree with you, but he's not. Mufasa's not the main character in the movie. He's only in the first part of the movie, and he shows up later on as like a vision to Simba. Like, he's not the main character, and who else could you? That's a legendary voice for a legendary character. Like, it's such an epic voice.
Morgan Freeman.
No, I don't believe Freeman. I don't believe that would work as Mufasa. Okay, Morgan Freeman is a god when it comes to his voice. He has such a sultry voice, but it doesn't command authority.
And Jeremy Irons doesn't? If you're going to put Mufasa as James Earl Jones, then Jeremy Irons should be Scar.
I wouldn't disagree with you on that because it was an amazing voice. Maybe, do you think, first of all, you're questioning Disney. You, sir, are questioning Disney and their infinite wisdom.
I just don't think it should be James Earl Jones.
Do you think maybe Disney didn't go through a whole bunch of different voices and none of them sounded right to the point where they were like, let's call up James Earl Jones, see if he can do it. Because, like, let's be honest, Disney probably went through some voices and they realized none of them sounded right. You need, to be Mufasa, the king of Pride Rock, the original king, you need a deep, commanding voice. And what says deep, commanding voice none other than the voice of Darth Vader himself, James Earl Jones?
There's a couple I can think of, but you know what? It's whatever. I think they should have gotten somebody new. It's time to move on from the original. But instead, they opened that can of worms. So now you got people saying here, oh, Jonathan Taylor Thomas, he should come out of retirement and be it. They should dig up the guy who played Rafiki and fucking Jason Voorhees his ass back to life so he can play it.
Jason Voorhees his ass.
Like, that's fucking bullshit. No, all these fucking people, they want to see their original 1994 movie that they love just as live action. I don't want that. Just like Jungle Book slightly changed. There was a couple new added scenes. Maleficent was fantastic, but it was a completely different point of view of Sleeping Beauty. They added a lot of scenes to Beauty and the Beast.
Maleficent changed the story. It wasn't a different point of view. They completely changed the story.
They did not change the story completely.
Changed the story.
They took it from a different point of view. You're seeing it from Maleficent instead of Aurora.
But we saw the end of that story where Maleficent is now like good. But we saw the end of that story. It changed the story.
Sleeping Beauty ended before you saw that.
We saw Maleficent get slain by the prince in the dragon form when she tried to burn down the whole fucking place.
And you see that in Maleficent, but what you don't see is her live from it. And
because she didn't. That's why.
She did, Adam.
She didn't. They changed the story.
All I know is I love Beyonce. I think she's fantastic. She's going to do a great job in this film. James Earl Jones, I do love him. I do love him, and I know we've already seen him do a good job, so we know he's going to do awesome. I just feel they could have brought some new blood in there for that.
But I
can't wait to see it in 2019. Can't wait.
I look forward to. I reiterate my point though. Like you said, it's Disney. They know what they're doing. They always plan ahead. I believe wholeheartedly that they did some casting for Mufasa. Couldn't find anybody that was right. That's what I believe.
Hamlet with lions.
So I watched episode 1 of a new show on Hulu.
Yeah?
It's called I Love You, America. And it is a Sarah Silverman show.
Okay.
Basically what this show is, it's kind of hard to describe because I wouldn't say it's a talk show and I wouldn't say it's a skit show or anything like that. Basically the way the show runs, or at least as far as episode 1 runs, it starts off with like a beginning monologue kind of thing where she's talking to the audience, and then she goes to like a pre-recorded thing, and then she has like an interview afterwards with somebody else. In this particular episode, the pre-recorded thing was she went to one of the southern states, might have been Texas, might have been somewhere else, where she went to have an interview kind of with a family that voted for Trump, and they were like hardcore conservatives, and it wasn't like a sit down interview. It was more like one of those kind of things where she showed up with a camera crew and they were like chit chatted and had like an evening together, and they had dinner together, and she helped them cook dinner, and while they were doing this, it was like conversations were happening and they would chit chat. I think what she's doing with the show is she is a very liberal Democrat, and I think she's trying to bridge the gap between the liberals and the conservatives. That's why she did this. And when she did this, she didn't like go and accuse him like, why did you vote for Trump? She was like, so you voted for Trump, well, what was the reason for doing that? And they would have like conversation. It was really kind of interesting, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. But the beginning of the show, I didn't know they did this. I didn't know that you could do this on Hulu. And I guess it makes sense because Hulu's not like a cable oriented show. She was talking about like what the show is supposed to be about, and she was like, anybody that like thinks the show is going to be one thing, you're wrong. Like it like there really hasn't been many shows like this before. Like it's not a talk show, it's not a skit show. And she started like going into this like monologue thing, and she was talking about how like, oh, you know, like she got into talking about like the human body and how we're all humans and our bodies are a beautiful thing. And she was like, look, we've got two naked people right here, a man and a woman, and it pans the camera over and cock and balls right there in front of your face, and naked woman.
Just cock and balls? Oh, naked woman too.
Yeah, naked woman too. I don't know if she got like, she called ahead of time to like some audience members if they want to do it, or if she hired actors. I'm assuming she hired actors to do it. But literally in the audience for the entire show, front row, just two naked people there.
A friend of mine was a nude model.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Like in New York City, she nude modeled.
Yeah.
Like she went into art classes and took her gear off, and people painted her. Not painted her, like painted her.
Images of her, paintings
Correct,
of her.
yeah.
Yes. These weren't models, put you that way, or they were some kind of models, because they weren't your typical naked models that you see on TV.
Were they fat shits or something?
I wouldn't say, no, they're not fat, but they weren't in shape. They had some flab, you know, they were a little blubber, they had a little bit of package to them, you know, a little bit. You know, they weren't like overweight or anything like that, but they weren't like your typical models or anything. And be honest with you, I didn't expect that from a Hulu show. I was just right there in front of my face, cock and balls.
You keep
tits and vagina.
You keep visiting. You go cock and balls
because
first.
It was the first thing that she showed. That's why. It was the first thing, and then they panned over to the woman, like, and then they panned over, like, you know, showing her, and it was like all right, I get what you're doing. It's interesting. You can do it every show? Probably not. Hopefully not. It'll get old after a while. But she ended the show with an interview with a particular individual. Her name is Megan Phelps. I don't know if you know who Megan Phelps is, Scott.
The daughter of Fred Phelps from the Westboro Baptist Church.
I don't know if it's exactly Fred. Who was there was the patriarch, the one that started it all.
Fred Phelps. He's the one who just recently passed away. But and may he burn in hell.
But like she's like 27 now, so wouldn't she be like the granddaughter?
Oh, maybe she's the granddaughter.
Yeah, she's like my age, basically.
Okay.
So that's why I'm asking. Like, I'm guessing she's the granddaughter.
Okay.
But anyway,
I don't know, bro.
But anyway, she was one of the Phelps children that left the Westboro Baptist Church, who decided that she didn't want to be a part of what they were selling, I guess you would say. And she had a really interesting story to tell. And actually, it's really weird that I watch a show. I watch it right after I listen to a Kevin Smith podcast, and he had on Megan Phelps. And they had like an hour-long discussion of her journey from where she was to where she is now. And I encourage anybody that knows about the Westboro Baptist Church to listen, if not watch the Sarah Silverman show, listen to the episode that Kevin Smith had on, because it shines an interesting light on the Phelps family. Because the way she talks about it, because they are her family, basically, and she disagrees with the way they do things, but it's interesting the way she talks about it. She says that they say hateful things, but they don't hate people. And the way she explains it is the way that they understand like religion and the Bible, and the way that they understand what they're doing, they wholeheartedly believe they are doing good, that they are not hating people. because what they think, like, for example, when they hold up signs like fags will burn in hell or you will burn in hell, to them, like, this is coming straight from her mouth, to them, that's not them hating people, that's them trying to inform people, you need to stop your hateful ways or you will burn in hell.
Like your sinful ways,
Yes,
not your hateful ways.
Well, your sinful ways. You must stop your sinful ways, or you will burn in hell. Like the way she explained it, obviously she said, and everybody agrees with her, that the way they went about doing it was completely wrong, and they weren't thinking of the families of the people that were protesting and everything and all this other bullshit. But it was an interesting way of thinking about it, where these Westboro Baptist Church people, for the most part, when they do their protests, if what she said is true, they aren't a hateful group. They spew hateful speech, but to them it's not hateful. They wholeheartedly believe that they are doing God's work and they are trying to save souls by doing it.
By doing it at a funeral for a soldier who died in combat? That's God's work? To
them, from her own words, to them, what they're doing is they are wholeheartedly preaching, is what they're trying to do. They're trying to preach.
I understand that.
She's not defending. By the way, for those of you wondering, she's not defending them. She's absolutely saying the way they go about it is wrong and what they're doing is wrong. That's why she left. What she is saying is there's a belief system in there.
I get that part, Adam. I understand what you're saying. They believe that homosexuality is a sin. Therefore, you're a sinner. Therefore, you will go to hell. You won't go to heaven. You will burn in hell. I get that. So, by them standing on streets holding up signs that say fags will burn in hell, they're trying to educate people. Hey, turn away from your homosexual lifestyle.
Yes.
Come to Jesus and you'll be saved. I get that. But why the fuck are they going to these funerals of soldiers, of fucking heroes? People who died defending our country. A soldier who's heterosexual, who's married with kids, who died in battle. Why there?
I think what
Why
it is.
Why not go to San Francisco and stand on the street corner?
I think what it is to them is he died defending a country, and in this country it promotes the sinful ways. The America to them. This is what I'm interpreting, promotes these sinful ways, and by dying to defend this country, they're doing something wrong. She goes into a great amount of detail in the Kevin Smith podcast. The reason why she left was she was the one that started their Twitter account. She was the one that started their Twitter account and was getting online and, talking socially with people and everything like that. And when people started finding out that Westboro Baptist Church had a Twitter account, a lot of people, as internet does, started coming at them and trolling them, or calling them names and everything like that. And the thing of it is, and she said something really interesting in the interview with Kevin Smith, was when people came at them and insulted them and said that they're hateful people and they're going to go to hell and this and the other thing, all it did was reinforce their beliefs, because apparently there's a line in the Bible somewhere that says it's a good thing if people hate you for what you say because people don't want to hear what they don't want to hear, or some shit like that. So by people going to them and spewing hate speech at them, it reinforces their will. And she said that's what happened with her. She said when people started coming at her with hate speech and just insulting her, she was like, I'm doing something right here because this is what I'm doing. She said that the way that she turned away from the church and realized what she was doing wrong was people started coming at her and having conversations with her and started countering her ideas with other ideas like, well, yes, I understand what your beliefs are, but you're protesting these funerals. What did you ever think about the families though, the people that lost these people? And after so much time of doing that, she started to question her own beliefs, which is an interesting way of looking at things. I think you can't counter these people, these hateful people, with hate. You have to counter them with alternate ideas.
I watched a documentary on the Westboro Baptist Church years ago, and at the time, they had maybe a dozen members, and it might have even been her at the time. She might have been one of them. They don't have a large congregation. They do not have a large following at all.
According to her, she talked about that too. because Kim Smith asked her, like, well, I mean, it's basically you and your family. And she's like, well, it's grown since then because, like, after September 11th, after we started growing in popularities, there were people that came to us. And usually we don't let people, like, outside the family join the church, but, you know, we will make exceptions and we will let certain people join the church that are outside. And she said we started letting more and more people in.
Did she say what the number was up to?
She didn't say. It wasn't high. It was not high.
Okay. Because when I watched this documentary, which I said was years ago, wish I remember the name of it, I'd give credit, but it was only family members. There was nobody else but
that's how it started.
The Phelps family. And it was like people who had married into the family too. Like, but it was just family. And I'm like, there's all 11 people here. Like, they're not that big of a deal. I told the story once on the podcast before. I saw them once. As I mentioned on here, one of my favorite holidays is Groundhog Day. I love Groundhog Day. It is incredible. I've gone to Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania 3 times to celebrate Groundhog Day. And one of the times I went, you know, we go to Gobbler's Knob, which is where the magic happens.
Yeah.
And there's a whole bunch of drunk people having a good time. It's freezing cold. It's the middle of the night. You're tired. But it's a lot of fun. And as I'm getting up to the knob, and I get off the bus, because you had to take a bus to get there, I'm walking to get to my spot. I look over, and who's here? The Westboro Baptist Church with their God hates fag signs and you will burn in hell. And they were calling us. Are you ready for this, Adam? We were idolaters.
That's the word I was thinking.
We were idolaters because we were worshiping a rodent. So I apparently am going to burn in hell because I've been to Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania for Groundhog Day a couple of times.
Apparently, if you don't repent.
And I wanted so badly. They actually had a little. There was 3 of them. There was 3 people there holding signs, and they had a little fenced-off area where they stood, and there was police in between. It was like the Westboro Baptist Church, a very small fence, police, and then a group of maybe 20 or 30 people screaming obscenities at them. The police were there for their own protection.
Yeah.
Because people wanted to rip them the fuck apart. And I kind of wanted to join in, but I didn't. I at least wanted to go walk over there. One of them had a bullhorn, so he was yelling bullhorn shit. So I didn't. I went and get to my spot, because I was there to have a good time. I wasn't there to go through bullshit, but that was my experience with the Westboro Baptist Church. I've seen them.
After listening to this person talk about the way that she left, it kind of reinforces my ideas about certain things like Al Qaeda, for example. Everybody, we're basically at war with the Taliban for the most part. We're at war with Al Qaeda. We're supporting, trying to take down the terrorists for the
war
most part.
War against terror.
Yes.
Whether it's the Taliban, Al Qaeda, ISIS, all of them.
We're
at war against terror.
We're at war against terror, and it's. I've said it. I said it for years, and I keep saying it. We can't. It's the war we cannot win because we're fighting an ideology. We're fighting an idea, and the only way to change your idea is with ideas that counter their ideas. The only way we could change them. They think that Americans are just hateful people that want to take over the world. Show them that show the young people that Americans are not that way. Show the people that are still young enough to embrace those ideas that no, that's not how America necessarily is. There are some Americans that are like that, yes, but a lot of Americans are just good people, and you know that's not the way the world works. America does not want to kill your entire people as of right now. But that reinforces my ideas. Like, you fight ideas with better ideas, and that's the way that Megan Phelps left the church. Her ideas were fought not with hatred and arguments and just spewing hate speech, but with better ideas that made her rethink her situation.
It's easy to fight an idea. It's not so easy
to
fight a belief. Beliefs and ideas are different.
I consider ideas kind of the same thing.
I kind of do too, but they don't. Those people don't. It's not just an idea in their head, because you can change an idea. I changed my mind. Had a great idea. It doesn't work out. I'm going to do something different. A belief is, regardless if you're Muslim, if you're Christian, if you're Jewish, if you're Hindu, if you're Buddhist, that is your faith. That is your belief structure. It is very hard to change that.
But Megan Phelps and all the other people that have left the Westboro, because there have been other people, other children. She said she's had cousins. She has a sister that left with her too. She and those people are proof that it can be done. It can be done.
Well,
it absolutely can be done.
I don't know if she said this in the show or in the podcast. But when they left, are they like shunned from their family?
They're shunned. Yes.
Like Scientologists and Amish.
Yeah, they cannot have any contact with them. They can't have any phone calls, social media contact, nothing. They
Really?
left, and because to the family they turned away from the family, and the family's doing God's work. They turned away from God for the most part, and they shun them away from the family. That's what it is. And she goes into great depth about that. She says that she does not condone what they do, but they are still her family. She grew up with them. Like everybody, she says, outside the church, everybody thinks that all they spew is hate speech and all they talk about is what their next protest is going to be. But she says, when we're inside the home, like we talk about how was your day at school? We talk about like normal family friendly things that you people talk about in your own households. But we also
do they go to school?
Yeah, they go to school. Like apparently,
like regular school?
I think so. Yeah, because in
Topeka, Kansas, they go to Topeka Public School.
Fred Phelps, the person who started the church, he was a lawyer, and one of the big things, like he was part of, he said like education is an incredibly important part of the family. Like we want to get educated, like we want to educate our kids, and to listen to this woman talk, she sounds like an extremely educated individual. She doesn't like talk nonsense like you and me were doing right now.
I figured they'd be homeschooled.
I think they actually go to school.
That's crazy cakes to me. How do they not get bullied?
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do.
Attacked by somebody in that school. What about if there's an LGBTQ plus person in that high school?
I'm sure a lot of issues. Like I said, I'm pretty sure they went to school. They might have been homeschooled. I don't know, but from what she said on the interview, education was an incredibly important part of the family. She said everybody had to be educated. They had to go to school.
It's one of the few things I'll agree with the Westboro Baptist Church on.
She said that their grandfather and their parents, her grandfather was a lawyer. He had his own law firm. It was an incredibly important part to be educated.
Wow.
Yeah. It's to listen to this interview, it shines a new light. It doesn't defend it. The interview does not defend anything they do, but it shines a new light on the ideas of how to reach these people, how to try to change their ideals.
You have a little twinkle in your eye. It's almost like you have newfound respect.
Because it reinforces what I've been saying. I've been saying for so long, you can't fight idealism and beliefs with hate speech and just war, and you can't fight these. You have to fight these ideas with better ideas. And the thing is, people don't believe it. They'll say, oh, they'll just wash it away. It'll go right over their head. They won't even listen to it. But there will be a select few that will hear those ideas and hear those things and start questioning their own beliefs and be like, is this right what I'm doing? And she's proof that is what that was. She is proof that her ideas were questioned by other people that came at her with better ideas.
I'm more cynical about it than you because I've been trying to do this. And in today's day and age, with the false narrative out there, with the air quotes here, fake news that you're hearing, and the majority of people believing this bullshit, I don't know how to do that. I honestly don't know how to tell people, hey, that's not true. What you just said is not true, and they don't believe you. They don't.
Well, I think part of it is you
say something the opposite. You say something that's completely true, and they say that's not real. How do you argue with people that you can't change your mind with facts? Don't believe facts.
That's part of the issue is you can't use straight up facts, and that's part of the issue because if I could be wrong, but from what I heard from the interview, what she would talk about is they wouldn't come at her and say you are wrong in this is the way it actually is. They would come at her with as two people talking instead of one person arguing with the other person. A lot of times when you're on social media, and I enjoy your social media rants sometimes because it's like the Michael Jackson meme where it's like I just showed up for the comments.
Eating popcorn.
Eating popcorn. Yeah. I just showed up for the comments, and I enjoy them a lot. But at the same time, I recognize when I go to your comments, you're never going to break through to anybody
Never.
because
I never do.
Because you don't converse with them, you argue with them, and there's a difference.
I'm sorry, but I'm not going to, have a conversation with somebody who's spewing absolute asinine bullshit.
That's why you'll
I
never
won't do it.
And that's why
I
you'll never
won't do it.
That's why you'll never reach these people. That's why you'll never be able to turn a Megan Phelps. That's
if
why.
somebody's going to tell me that the sky is red, I'm not going to be like, okay, well, let's talk about... No, the sky's not fucking red. It is blue. Look, that's the fact.
But you're not
based
arguing,
in science.
But you're
I'm
not
based in science.
A lot of this shit isn't based in science. Like, when you're talking about, like, the Westboro Baptist Church, there's no science involved. It's 100% belief. It's all bullshit. I can say the same thing for you. Your beliefs, you believe in God, you believe in Jesus. For the most part, as far as I'm concerned, a lot of it's bullshit.
No, go ahead, preach, brother. I'm
a lot of it's bullshit, there's no science to be had. Like, when it comes to talking to these people, when it comes to talking to somebody who's thinking about in the Middle East joining Al Qaeda, when it comes to talking about somebody who is in the Westboro Baptist Church, you can't talk facts because there are no facts to be had. You're talking like you're saying, you're making the comparison like, oh, they say the sky is red, but it's actually blue. But there's no
there are facts to prove that.
There's no facts to prove there's no facts to prove that what they're saying is not true. There are no facts. You have to counter it with better ideas, is what I'm saying. There are no facts to prove that fags don't go to hell.
But,
there are no facts, okay? But so that's where you counter them, not with facts, with better ideas. You question them. You say, okay, I hear what you're saying, but why do you think that is true? Like, I don't understand that. Like, this is what I think. Why do you think that is true? You know what I'm saying?
I do, but then that's an argument you can't win.
But she's proof that it's an argument that you can win. She and people that she like. That's what I'm trying to say. That's the reason why my point of this is it makes me feel better about it, because she is proof you can reach people that are indebted, that she grew up from her birth in this family, from day one believing these things, and she was there for 27 years, and after 27 years, just people reaching out to her and conversing with her, it took some time, but people reaching out to her changed her mind, made her rethink things, made her reassess her values. She is, like you saying, like, you can't reach people like that. This person and the family that she left with her sister, her cousins, the people that left as well, they're proof that you can reach people like that. The problem is you just don't want to do the work. Like, it's a time invested thing. Like,
I'm not good. No, why should I? Why the fuck should I try to argue with a wall? It's not going to happen. Yeah, okay, this one girl who you got a boner for, maybe she decided to leave. But look at how many are still there, and you're never going to change
I just mentioned
them.
Her sister left with her. Okay, she had a cousin that left before.
Fred Phelps never changed till the day he died. You're not going to change everybody.
You're not going to try and converse with the people that you think can. That's the reason why I'm saying, like, she was on social media. There were people that trolled her. There were people that just argued with her. But there were people that conversed with her and said, okay, like, I think that's kind of dumb, but, like, maybe did you think about it this way?
I get so angry. I can't do it anymore. I'm a level-headed guy, and I've had conversations with people, but it's just, the internet is a terrible place. I think the internet is a horrible fucking place. We mentioned it earlier in the show. There's no saving it. There's killing it with fire and nothing else. The internet is a shitstorm waiting to explode.
I think what you don't seem, you hear me say it, but I don't think you seem to take it in, like, just take it to your heart, is like, yes, there's, like, I get so angry and I just have to argue with these people, but I don't think what you understand is what you're doing just reinforces the problem. What you're doing is basically helping them nail the wall up.
That's time what you're doing. Fight fire with fire. I'm done. I'm done holding hands and grabbing dicks. I am ready to fucking get in there and wreck shit.
And you're just gonna help nail the wall up. That's all that's gonna happen.
Let there be a wall. You talk about bridging the gap. I want to burn that fucking bridge to the ground. I don't want to be associated with those people. Fuck those people. I'm done with them. They've made their bed. You can fucking lay in it. They've destroyed this country. It's gone to shit thanks to them. I'm done. I'm done with these people. No, if you're not smart enough by now to see all the shit that's going on in the news,
You're talking intelligence. We're talking about beliefs, okay? You can't talk intelligence when it comes to beliefs, okay? It's like I just said, you can't argue your beliefs because you believe it. All right? You can't argue with intelligence because it's a belief that you have. It's
you
not.
don't see me
It's
arguing.
not a.
You don't see me arguing religion too much on there. I mean,
But that's kind of what I'm talking about with this particular situation. Is what I'm saying.
because it's a religion, it's a faith.
Then you know what? Fuck the Middle East. Then at that, based on your argument, fuck the Middle East. Fuck all the children that are over there that could join, Al Qaeda and the ISIS and everything like that. They're never gonna change. It doesn't matter. We can't reach them. No. Based on your argument, argument, we can reach it. Let's just drop a nuke.
Well, no, I don't want to destroy.
Young Donnie.
Just stop.
Okay,
just
young
stop.
Donnie.
Just stop. No, don't drop a nuke. You think I'm totally against nukes in any way, shape, or form? They destroy the environment. But as for the ISIS terrorists and everything, yeah, sure.
I'm talking about.
Fuck them.
I didn't say the ISIS. I said the young kids that are over there that could join ISIS.
Why?
What I said was based on your argument. Based on your argument, okay, we can't reach them with their beliefs. We can't reach those people over there with their beliefs. We're never going to change any ideas. We're never going to make it any better. So fuck these young kids that could join ISIS and fuck these young kids that could have these beliefs. Fuck them to death. That's what I said.
The certain sect of Islam that practices Sharia law, and I've defended up and down. I have many Muslim friends. Being Muslim is not a crime.
No, it's not.
To practice Islam, it's fine. It's just the extremists. There are extremists in the Islamic faith that are members of ISIS, that are members of Al Qaeda, that practice Sharia law, and to the point where I don't think we can change their minds. I really don't.
No, you can't change the minds. The
think
people that are embedded in there, you can't change, but you can change the minds of the younger people, the younger generation coming up. But that's brings us back to my point with the Westboro Baptist Church. You're never going to change you're never going to change. You were never going to change Fred Phelps' mind. He was embedded with that. He's like 90 years old, lived his whole life like that. You're never going to change the parents, but you can change the minds of the younger generation. You can change. No, it's not a bad comparison. You can change the minds of the younger people that are in the church, the younger people, the people that are 30 years old or younger, the younger people that would be willing to listen.
What's the girl's
Megan
name?
Phelps.
Megan Phelps was born into it.
Yes.
Most of the people aren't born into ISIS.
No, but they're born in.
They're recruited.
But they're born into those beliefs.
They're born into Islam. Islam doesn't make you a terrorist. Becoming a member of ISIS by them recruiting you in
Islam does not make you a terrorist, but ISIS warps Islam to reinforce their ideas. So the Westboro Baptist Church warps the Bible to adhere to their beliefs. They warp the ideas of the Bible to adhere to their beliefs. You can reach the younger generation is what I'm trying to say. You're not going to change the minds of the people that are 40 or 50 years old who have been in there since their entire lives. No,
right.
But you can change the minds of the younger people, the people that are more open-minded, the people that are younger, more open-minded, better ideas. The people that
young people aren't joining the WBC.
No, I'm talking about the people that are born into it. There are people that are born, like I said, this is proof that you can do that. There are people that are born into this. There are people that are born into this whose mind you can change.
People aren't born into ISIS. I mean, maybe
people are. What I'm saying is there are people that are born into the Islam religion, and ISIS uses the Islam religion to warp the way things are.
What we need to do is educate these people that you don't have to go that route. You can still practice Islam and be a contributing member of society, be a good person without joining ISIS. You could still be a good Christian, and you don't have to join Westboro Baptist Church. I don't like.
Yes, and you can be a good Christian without joining the Westboro Baptist Church. What I'm saying is, the younger people that are still learning these ideas, the younger people that are growing up to it, you're not going to reach all of them, but you can reach some of them. You can reach some of these people. You could change ideas. You can weaken the Westboro Baptist Church by reaching some of these people, because, like I just said, like Megan Phelps just had said in this interview, by just spewing hate, all you're doing is just reinforcing their walls and their beliefs.
The Westboro Baptist Church has no power. They don't. Nobody gives a shit. People get all butthurt because they see them holding up signs they don't agree with. If we didn't talk about them on this podcast, if Kevin Smith didn't talk about them on a podcast, if Sarah Silverman didn't talk about them on her show, then nobody would know about them. Nobody would fucking care.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit.
We're giving them the platform
but they've been
want.
around. But they've been around since before we did our podcast. It's not like we're just not like this is old news. Old news where the Westboro Baptist Church. It's not like we're giving our listeners new information.
You said it yourself that Megan Phelps said that their popularity has grown because of people in the news, people on the internet, people saying.
I said their popularity has grown based on social media. Because
people are talking about social media is people talking about them. If nobody talked about them, then a lot of people wouldn't know about them.
They grew because she joined social media and started throwing the Westboro Baptist Church out there herself. That's how that helped them grow.
But if she was throwing it out there and nobody cared, then she would just be throwing into the abyss. But because people are, whether they're trolling or whether they're just being internet assholes, they start commenting. That's how. Listen, I just recently took a social media course for my work to try and get our name out there. That's how you get things done. People liking, people commenting, people sharing your posts, and that expands from there. So if she would have just put a post out there, that doesn't mean it's going to go viral or get all these people to see it. It's other people commenting on it, reading it, getting pissed off, saying to their friends, "Look what this fucking," and that spreads. It's like tree roots. It keeps going and it keeps going, and then maybe you'll find one idiot person that goes, "You know what? Now that I see this post on Twitter, I think fags are going to burn in hell. Maybe I'm going to take a trip to Topeka, Kansas." I don't understand the point
you're trying to make, though. I don't understand the point you're trying to make.
The point I'm trying to make is there's some people that are going to join regardless, but the majority won't. The majority won't. But the point I'm trying to make with this is she didn't do it. She didn't make it popular. It's people like us that did. People like us made it popular. If we just would have let it go, nothing would have came from it.
Well, it's fucking news. Like, what do you expect? It's fucking
ignore
news.
It. It's not news.
You can't ignore it.
News.
You can't ignore it. It's not news. That's like saying, somebody's got robbed in the down at the convenience store the other day. Just fucking ignore it, man. If you ignore it, it's not going to happen. That's the same thing.
How is holding up a fucking sign at a funeral the same as a criminal's on the loose and he's robbing convenience stores? It is not the same at all. Somebody holds a fucking sign up. Whoop-de-fucking-do. How was there shit this morning, too, while you're at it, news? I don't give a damn what kind of sign somebody holds up. But if somebody commits a crime, because last time I checked out, holding a sign up is not a crime. But breaking the law by robbing a convenience store is a crime. So that is news.
But holding up a sign is not news?
No, it's not news.
Then stop bringing up your protests on the podcast. Then apparently it's not news.
It's not news, but guess what? Just like the Westboro Baptist Church holding their sign of the God Hates Fags, it gets the message out there because people like us talk about it, and people like that retweet it, people like that share it, and it gets spread. Just like the protests. Protests work the same way. Right
now you're arguing that the Westboro Baptist Church sucks. They suck.
They're
horrible people. They're horrible, terrible people.
But they do a great marketing.
They're horrible, terrible. They do a great marketing, but they're horrible, terrible people. My whole conversation piece was you can reach some of these people with great ideas without arguing, and then you just speed it off into an argument.
Because there's some people you can't reach. Some people you can't.
Yes, there are some people, but there are some people you can reach.
I'm done trying. I'm done trying to reach these people. They're not willing to listen.
Then you can't whine about it and not be a.
I can most certainly whine about it.
Then stop being a social justice warrior if you're not going to try to change ideas. I
certainly can be a social justice warrior.
If you're not going to try to change people's ideas and try to make a world a better place for you, for the future, then stop considering yourself a social justice warrior.
I'm a social justice warrior because I fucking want to. Because they have every right to hold a sign that says God hate fags. I have every right in this country to get on some asshole's Facebook page and write "fuck you" on it.
Yes, you have
every right.
You have every right to do that. I'm just saying you're not helping the situation. That's all I'm saying.
Do I have to? Why was I put in charge? Why was I put in charge of helping the situation?
Because you claim to be a social justice warrior. You're a defender.
By social justice warrior, I care. I care about people's rights. I care about people being treated fairly. But we don't. The fucking rest of the country doesn't. So why should I bust my balls?
Then if you're not going to try to make a change, don't call yourself a social justice warrior. Call yourself a social justice complainer then. If you're not going to try to make a change. If you're not...
SJC.
Yes.
Social justice complainer.
That's your new title from now on.
I've had conversations with people. I've had I had a great one actually recently. It was somebody about public education, and we had a back and forth, and it never got nasty. She never got nasty with me. I never got nasty with her. But after 22 messages back and forth, I'm realizing, you know what? I'm wasting my time.
And that's fine, but
wasting. I got better things to do with my life.
The point is, by not arguing and insulting, you didn't do any damage. That's the point. And it's not like
I did no good.
Well, here's the thing. You didn't listen to the interview. Obviously, I did, so I didn't give you as much information. It's not like she had one conversation with somebody she started questioning. We're talking like she had like a year's worth of conversations with people, and then she started changing her ideas and started thinking differently, and they were all different people. For this other person, when you had your education discussion, if you did that with all people, you're like, oh, I didn't do any good. It was just one comment, one conversation I had with this person. But that's one of many conversations this person might have that might help change your mind. But the point is, you didn't do any damage by arguing and insulting, but you may have helped by providing different ideas and having a conversation. And not because if you're going to insult somebody, they're obviously going to get defensive. And they're not going to listen to anything you have to say. That's something I've learned. Well, we went off on a tangent a little bit, sir.
Man, fuck the Westboro Baptist Church. And fuck ISIS too.
So if you want to get a hold of For Your Distraction and tell us what you think. Do you think Scott's right? Do you think I'm right? Do you think it's just wasting our breath and just filing our thumbs down to the bone, just type it away at our phones? Or do you think there's any hope for these people? Email us, fordistraction@gmail.com. Head over to our Facebook and our Twitter, fordistraction @podcast FYD. We are on SoundCloud and we are on iTunes. Search For Distraction. Rate us, like us, share us with your friends, write a comment. The only way we grow is if you guys help us grow. We are also a member of the Be Real Podcasting Network. Head over to, I think the site might still be at BREL network.com. If it's not up, head over to the Movie Guys podcast on Podbean. I think that's podbean.com/Movie Guys podcast. We've got a lot of great shows on there. Share us with your friends. It's a great network.
The beer of the show is from the Troggs Independent Brewing Company in Hershey, Pennsylvania. It was the Sunshine Pills. So big shout out to all the fools down at the Troggs.
Was a nice casual beer.
Yeah. Good shit. Good shit, Adam.
Oh yeah.
Another good one.
It's another one.
It's another one.
It's another one.
Hey. What number is this?
99.
I got 99 podcasts, but 100 is next. So what are we doing for a special 100?
We may have some things planned. We may have some things coming up. Nothing set in stone. I believe next week we're going to be doing a throwback cinema.
We haven't done one of those in a hot minute.
Yeah, we're trying to bring some more of these special shows back. Scott, why don't you tell them what we're doing so that they can watch the movie before they listen to the show?
So for those of you who are a little bit new, because we haven't done a throwback cinema in quite a while, what we do for throwback cinemas, it started when sometimes Adam and I would recap a newer movie that we'd both seen, and some of our friends and listeners would say, hey, I had to turn the podcast off because I haven't seen that movie yet.
Yeah.
So we thought about it, we're like, you know what? Let's go back, and we will talk about and review great classic films that everybody should have seen by now. If you haven't seen it by now, it's your own damn fault. So we go back and we take good films that we all love and we talk about them. We discuss them. And that way people can listen to the podcast and know what the fuck we're talking about. So we are going to be doing, are you ready? Drum roll. Men in Black.
MIB is back.
We're going to do Men in Black as our next throwback cinema. So I'm looking forward to that. So between now and next week, if you want to rewatch it with us, because we're both going to rewatch it to refresh our memory, even though I've seen it probably 20 times. It's a great movie. We'll rewatch it, you rewatch it with us, and then we'll review the podcast.
Yeah, I think if you do not own the movie, which if you don't, what's wrong with you, sir? or ma'am. It should be on Netflix and maybe Hulu right now, I believe. I know it's definitely on Netflix. So
It's also on my, I don't speak for everybody, but on my cable it was on demand. So I watch it on demand there too. So it's an easy one to get. 1997 film.
cable,
So-
you're a man of the past, sir.
Love it. Hold on to it. Some people you just can't change.